Okay, so you might assume that people who run big Wall Street firms like Howard Lutnick are not stupid. You're going to have a hard time believing that after you see this. Howard Lutnick insults European meat in bizarre Fox News rant.
European Union won't take chicken from America. They won't take lobsters from America. They hate our beef because our beef is beautiful and theirs is weak.
Their beef is weak.
Their beef
Um,
is weak.
all right, so here on a more serious note, he went on with Bloomberg to talk about why Europe doesn't take our agricultural imports.
Does not treat our products fairly. They do not treat our companies fairly. They treat themselves incredibly well to the detriment of the United States of America, right? It is time for them to treat us fairly, and that is the point. It's not free and fair trade. Their tariffs are higher. The non-tariff trade barriers are incredible. Like, I'd ask you, why don't they take our beef? Why don't they take our agricultural products? Why? Because they don't want them, because they want to make the money themselves. Why is it okay for every other country to feel this way, and it's not okay for America? I tell you why. Because we were the world's piggy bank.
Okay. Now, it's hard to know if what he's saying is something he actually believes, if he doesn't actually know why Europe doesn't take our agricultural products. These people lie like they breathe. So who knows? But here's the reality. Importing American beef into the European Union is currently restricted due to an EU-wide ban on meat, which has been raised with hormonal growth promotants. The European Union has also restricted imports of American poultry due to its tendency to be washed with chlorine, a banned practice in both Europe and the UK. While in 2016, Sweden asked the EU to ban imports of live American lobster due to concerns over them being an invasive species. Genetically modified food and crops treated with pesticides banned in the EU for being toxic to humans have also faced restrictions. President Donald Trump unveiled new reciprocal tariffs on dozens of countries and territories on Wednesday, including uninhabited islands and a territory where the only notable settlement is a U.S. military base. Yeah, the grown-ups are back in charge, folks. Now, the MAGA movement is such a large part of the MAGA movement. I would think not only would they be sympathetic to the Europeans, but they'd want those kinds of standards here. I can tell you, having traveled in Europe, everybody told me I was very curious because you eat a big plate of pasta, you always get logy, right? People told me, no, you have the pasta in Italy, you'll be fine. Yeah, it's true because the shit that we have in our food, they don't allow over there. Now, Lutnick going up and saying this again, does he believe this? Does he really not know it's because we do things to our food that is illegal in the rest of the industrialized world? You can't sell things like this. I mean, it's not just this. Like, you don't see real food imports from America to Japan because the kinds of ingredients that you
Right.
would have in American food, they just would not allow that.
Right.
Um, so somebody commented here, Lutnick is desperately trying to sound like Trump just to grab 5 minutes of MAGA cult fame. You don't win a trade by crying that people aren't buying your product. It's the most pathetic victim mindset imaginable. If you think shipping chemical meat across the ocean is better than buying local, you're absolutely mad.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't even think of
Lut-
that. Yeah.
Lutnick's tariff obsession is a disaster waiting to happen. His beautiful beef rant ignores EU safety standards, hormones, and chlorine washes aren't quality, they're risks. He's out of touch, and these tariffs will hurt American consumers more than help. think that's true. I'd rather have their beef than our robust, strong beef any day.
Our beautiful,
Uh,
strong beef.
weak beef, lads. Weak beef. In a sane world, we would neither see, hear, or have any dealings whatsoever with this. In any sane world, we would never come across Lutnicks, never know their names, and their thoughts would appear fleetingly on social media just before you blocked them. Yes, if you sit there and you think a guy like Howard Lutnick is where he is because he's smarter than you, well, this should dispel that. Our beef is strong, their beef is weak. That guy, you think he's really smarter than you? He's not smarter than you. He's more evil than you. He's probably willing to do things for money that you won't do. That's the common denominator of these Wall Street guys, of these Wall Street CEOs. They're not all as clownish as Lutnick. You know, Jamie Dimon comes off as a serious kind of a person, but they're all evil scumbags who feel comfortable serving and propping up a system that creates horrific inequalities that they're completely aware of. And they do everything they can to make sure that the people are not able to fight back against it. What kind of person does that? The average person watching this, man, if you had $1 billion, would you be able to like really hoard that money? Or would you feel like you have to help people with that money?
Right.
Like you
right,
really
exactly.
don't need that money. So what kind of person do you think has $500 billion and their objective in life is to get more? These
Right.
people are evil, evil people. Lutnick is evil. Is he telling the truth? As far as he understands it, probably not. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It is all about getting an extra nickel for them.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the ultimate test as to how smart they are relative to the average person because it's so obvious. I mean, this is just, I mean, it's a cringe example. Like, it's almost too cringe to be funny. It's not. It is funny. Yeah, beautiful. We have beautiful beef. Their beef is weak. I mean, it is funny. Almost too cringe to be funny, but not quite. They are
I mean,
betting.
he's a walking anti-Semitic stereotype.
Well, yeah,
He's
that's
like
what I said earlier.
he's like the Ferengi on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They are betting that they can basically market their way out of, you know, whatever hellscape they are ushering this country into. What they're basically betting on is that they can convince the American people that we're better than every other place. We're just
Right.
better. We
Right.
have better
Right.
beef than you. We're better
Right.
than you. So it doesn't matter. We could literally just implode as a country. I mean, think of how this looks from the outside. Think of how this looks from Europe. They see America in total self-destruct mode. And yet their leaders are telling their people how much better we are than the rest of the world. You know, Lewis Black did when he did his first big HBO special, probably wasn't his first special, it was the first one that caught on. You know, he talked about American exceptionalism. This was in the Bush era, right after 9/11, and the sort of, you know, jingoism of America, rah, rah, rah. He says, think about it if you worked at an office and a guy came into the office every day, and every day came into the office, he says, I'm the greatest fucker here, right? What would you think of that guy? You think that was a crazy, a delusional lunatic, and a fucking asshole. Like, that's what you would think. That's what we are. We are destroying ourselves while deluding ourselves into thinking that we are simply superior to the rest of the world. Superior how?
Yeah.
On what
We are
basis?
so back, baby.
Yeah, we are so back. When the book about the Trump second term is written, it should be entitled So Back. That should be the name of the book. Because that is just the bullshit that we sell ourselves in. It is amazing how many people in the journalism and commentator space will just go down with the ship. And I use that term very liberally. I'm not talking about some of our friends who we've been frustrated with in recent months. I'm talking about like the real hacks, the real fucking scum, like the Jack Posobics and the Eric Dohertys and the Ian Miles Chunks. Like, how long can you go? Just selling people this jingoism as their quality of life deteriorates. How long can you do that? For how long do you expect people to go along with this? And this whole thing about, well, our beef is strong and beautiful and theirs is weak. This is just it is mythology.
All right, we got to see that one more time.
It is religion.
Won't take.
Go ahead.
I mean, the European Union won't take chicken from America. They won't take lobsters from America. They hate our beef because our beef is beautiful and theirs is weak.
Our beef is beautiful, theirs is weak. That's it. That's it. You know, look, religion at its best is a sort of philosophy to live by and a source of fulfillment for people. At its worst, it's a bullshit story to put a pretty face on human suffering, right? And to get people to accept their own suffering, right? The promise of a better life after you die. Well, that's exactly what this is. Yep. They don't want our beef because it's beautiful, right? It's a bullshit story to explain away our own degradation. That's all that is. Being sold to you by an uber wealthy bloodsucker. I mean, is he dumber than the average person? Time will tell. Time will tell. Because if you look at a poll and you see the number of people who fall for that, he's got a lot of people fooled. Hopefully not enough, but quite a few.
Please clap.